Hi everybody, I kind of wanted to make this video because I wanted to explain why I'd been absent for quite so long from YouTube, from making videos or anything like that. And I kind of want to go over the things that had been happening over the past couple of months and what's going to happen in the future of the channel and what's happening with me, that kind of thing. So going back through December, which was the last time I kind of made any videos before my most recent painting, which was Gamesiel, the sea turtle kaiju for Yu-Gi-Oh, which I will leave a link to. But that was last week, and then before that, going back to December, I had some pretty heavy things that I had to deal with over Christmas, and it was a very unhappy time for me. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, because that's not what this video is about, so we're going to kind of gloss over it, but that kind of explains why I didn't really have much to say over Christmas, because I wasn't really in a mindset to be able to do much, and, you know, it was pretty terrible things, which maybe I'll go over another time in the future, but at this point in time it's still quite sensitive and it's not something that I really need to talk about. Now, after cosplaying, and this is partly part of it, but it's not the be all and end all, after cosplaying Pit back in October, it got quite a lot of attention, and part of the reason that I think I did very well with it, and you'll see a photo of it just up here, is I took a great interest in makeup. And it's something that I've been enjoying for quite a while, and I posted a photo of me in drag makeup a good few months ago, back in September, and people responded quite negatively, or as well, 50-50. A lot of people thought it was really cool, and they thought it was really clever, and then there were some people that were really kind of not so happy about it, and it caused a lot of problems, but I'm still going to continue to study it, and I really enjoy it. And then with the Pit outfit, I decided to kind of put my makeup skills to use and kind of make my face kind of very anime and, you know, very mannequin-like, and it worked really well. And I've learnt a lot since then. You know, I've got lessons coming up on Saturday. Actually, I'm going down to Brighton to get a lesson from Joe Harwood, who is a very prolific makeup artist on YouTube. And hopefully I'll have more to update from that point, and it'll be really good fun, because it's something I'm really looking forward to. I may end up even adding that kind of thing to my YouTube repertoire, but I know that most people kind of see my channel as just Yu-Gi-Oh paintings, but it's not just what I want to do. I kind of want to build bridges between the geek world and the image-driven world. Like, I mean, as somebody who is very image conscious, I always try and make sure I look nice, I make sure my teeth are clean, I make sure that I dress nicely where possible, I wear good clothes, I do all of these things. And a lot of people seem to believe that you have to have one and not the other. Because as much as those things are true, I still very much like my competitive gaming. I really enjoy geeking out all day, every day for a week, if need be. I want to be really good and respected within the gaming community. And I think it's really sad that a lot of places seem to believe that you can't have both. And a lot of people seem to believe that you can't have both. So, screw it, I'm going to try and be that bridge, and I really want to do that. You know, so I'm going to kind of develop the cosplay stuff as well as, you know, because I think that that is a good niche to be between those two worlds. And I'm going to put my makeup skills to use on that front. But I'm also going to try and do kind of things like, I did think about maybe, you know, with my Yu-Gi-Oh paintings, perhaps doing something with my face or something to reflect that which I'm painting, to give kind of like a niche that you may never have seen before. Leave a comment, you know, and tell me what you think of that. I mean, I'm not going to do it immediately, and if it's something that everyone says, oh no, that's a terrible idea, you'll look stupid, then I might reconsider, but I'd like to hear back from you and kind of work out what the best road to take would be. Travelling has taken a large portion of my time up in the last couple of months. I've been travelling a fair few places in the UK, and not only that, but in January I was out of the UK for all but 4 days of the month. I went to Ireland in the first weekend of the year, and I had a really good time with my brother and my dad after Christmas was so rough. And, you know, we had a great time. We just set the world to rights, and we were sitting in Dublin bars and with a lot of drinks and a lot of music, and it definitely lightened up my mood, and it gave me kind of definitely more perspective on the things that had happened, and it was it was just very, very much needed. I came this close to getting my lip pierced, and I'm still kind of considering it, but I think perhaps it will make my professional life harder, and I think that I'd probably avoid it. And as somebody who's got like 5 tattoos that aren't plainly obvious because they're all either on my back or on my upper arm, I think that it's probably best to kind of keep these things to myself, although I'm still considering it. So again, tell me what you think, if you think I'd look good with that kind of thing. Straight after Ireland, I returned to Las Vegas to work during UFS Worlds, and it was really successful. We got more players than we had anticipated. I think we got 120 something. But it was extremely stressful. All of us who were working were up at like 5 o'clock in the morning each day, getting to the venue and then not leaving until 9 at night. I mean, the finals took like 5 hours, and I had to leave before that had finished because I couldn't quite hack it. Maybe that's to my detriment, but I just couldn't quite deal with it. But I spent some really, really good quality time with some really good quality people who I miss dearly. And anyone who's in America who is good friends with me and is watching this video, you know who you are. And I miss all of you guys dearly, and I hope that it'll be sooner rather than later that I get to see you guys again. I've seriously considered actually leaving the UK to stay there permanently, but it's difficult to kind of do that while there are things keeping me in the UK presently. There, I have my partner here, my family, my father and my brother are here. I have a lot of people that are kind of here for me, and even though there's a lot of people in the US that are there for me as well, and it's been very refreshing to have people be like that when I've had a lot of people shoot me down for a lot of different things. It's very, very nice, and I'd love to go and stay there, but who knows, it could be on the cards in the future. It's definitely a possibility, and it's something I'd love to do. I mean, it's Las Vegas, it's like my favorite city in the world. While in America, I drove down to Texas with my very good friend / boss to spend some time with him and his family, and he was introducing me to people, and it was really, really lovely. And I spent some really good quality time with his mum. We went out to a proper bar, and it did make me laugh because I not been to a proper Texan bar before, and I was with a lot of these ladies, and I was being taught to dance like the proper 1-2 step, and this woman was just coming up and going, "Oh my god, you can actually dance." And I'm sitting there thinking, girl, I've got bleach blonde hair, I'm surrounded by girls, and I can actually dance. I'm not going home with you. And it was just a very funny experience. Although, I mean, the 12-hour drive was killer. I mean, it was 18 hours on the way back, which I'll get to in a second, but the 12-hour drive there was killer, and we ended up staying in a hotel that night, and I had the creepiest encounter while I was in this hotel. So I went up into the room, and I was curious as to what was around. So I went on my phone and I downloaded Grindr, which I've never really used, but I kind of was curious as to what kind of guys were around, and I wanted to have a look. And then I got this message, and it's like, "Oh, hi," and I thought, "Oh, I'll be polite, and bear in mind my face and everything is not on this account or anything." And he goes, "Hi," and I thought, "All right, hi, how's it going?" He goes, "Are you in room 203 or whatever it was?" And I'm sitting there thinking, how does this guy know what room number I'm in? So I'm getting it rubs the lotion on its skin from this point. And I said, "How do you know what room number I'm in?" And he goes, "I'm the hotel manager." And I went, "That doesn't answer my question. How do you know what room number I'm in?" He said, "Oh, I just asked the chick behind the counter and she told me, and I asked her where the hot blonde foreign guy was." And I thought, delete app. This is why you don't download these things, because serial killers will come after you and skin you in your sleep in a hotel. So as soon as Jason came back, my friend, and I said to him, "Just lock the door right now. Just bolt the damn door, because I just want to go to sleep and not die in my sleep." While I was in America and previously, I have been trying to keep up with my drawings where possible. I did some nice ones on the plane, and I'll leave pictures up for that. There was this guy in Ireland, actually, who, while I was there was this guy who was very, very smartly dressed. He had beautiful long hair, and he just sat down in this pub and just pulled out the sketchbook and started drawing. And he had everybody's attention. And I sat and I thought, Christ, that used to be me. Why don't I just do that again? It was really good fun, and I used to love drawing in public because, everyone likes to attention seek, or at least do things that are worth the attention. So I did that. I've been doing that for a little while, and I might even start doing some of my drawings online, because I'd like to think I was somewhat accomplished in it. I entered a Street Fighter tournament, the very last Ultra Street Fighter 4 tournament, when I got back. I went 2-2, which isn't terrible, but I mean, I lost to Tyrant, was my first loss, so I'm not going to complain at that, because he's very, very good. And I, was playing with some very good players in the UK. Luffy won that tournament, but he often does win the tournaments he enters. And then I entered a Smash Bros tournament a week afterwards where I top 8'd with Bayonetta after she'd been released after like 2 days. Or maybe that wasn't the week after, that must have been a good couple of weeks after actually. I think it was the first weekend of February. That was good fun, actually. In terms of things for the channel, with Games for Tea, which is a thing I really wanted to pursue and I really did enjoy it, I've encountered a lot of computer problems, which unfortunately I can't presently afford to get myself a new computer. So until I figure that out, that project's going to have to go on hold for a short while. Because as much as it's something I'd really love to do, if I can't do it, I can't do it. So I'm going to see if I can get this computer fixed up, and it's a laptop, so capture cards and anything like that really don't like me very much on this thing. So if you have any suggestions on how to get that all to work and how to make it streaming work, because I've been trying to do that for a year and I just can't get it right. It's extremely frustrating, but yeah, we'll have to see where that goes. I'll be continuing to do my paintings and stuff. I mean, I don't play the card games as much as I used to, but I know it's what a lot of people have come here to see, so I'm going to continue to do it. But I'm actually selling a large portion of all my cards. I'm going to show my collections for both Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly for my own benefit, but I would like to share it with everybody because there's a reason behind it all. Because they're both very, very large collections, and the videos are probably going to segment as much as I can, so they're like restricted to 5 or 6 minute videos. But there'll be quite a lot of them. So if you kind of want to have a look at all the stuff that I've acquired over time, then feel free. If you don't, then feel free to ignore it. The reason I kind of wanted to do it is because I actually kept my collections en masse for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic hidden for a very long time. The reason for that is because when I used to play in a competitive scene, particularly for Yu-Gi-Oh!, I was put down and bullied by a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but certain people who I'm not going to name and shame while I'm on camera, but you know, there were people who went out of their way to make me miserable by just being nasty, and I never really understood why. And I always thought that people sit there and go, "Oh, they're just jealous of what you've got," and stuff, but they don't know what I've got. They just assume things because I work in a game store and I must clearly rip people off or something like that. And it was very hard to deal with. So I decided I'd keep my collections hidden, and I kept going for things, not because I necessarily needed them to play or anything like that, but because I wanted it so that these people who were mean and nasty to me couldn't hold their collections over my head and couldn't sit there and brag at me. I have a very, very big difficulty with arrogance when it comes to these things. I have a very big problem with elitism when it comes to gaming. I really want to be good at these games, but I will not sacrifice any part of my personality and social ability to get better at the game and acquire cards. It just doesn't make sense to me. But there are a lot of people out there who do. So these people made things troublesome for me, and I was beaten down. So I kept them to the point where, you know, I couldn't let them brag, even silently. They'd go, "Oh, I've got this card," and I'd be like in my head, it's like, "That's fine, I'm sure you have, I've got 3 of it." But my life has moved on since then, so I just don't really feel a need to do that anymore, and collections of that size are wasted on me, honestly. I mean, with Yu-Gi-Oh! I have a play set of Super Rare Bottomless Trap Hole, Super Book of Moons. You know, I have a lot of very expensive cards, and I just don't see the point in having them anymore. You know, I can still do the paintings, I can still play the game, I just don't need to have these ridiculously expensive foil cards just to continue playing. Magic, I've got, you know, I was originally going to start playing Legacy because I picked up my Tundras, Underground Seas, Force of Wills, Wastelands, everything, and I honestly, they never left my folder. So I thought, well, while I need money and while I want to make more and I want to travel more and I want to do all these things that I wanted to do, what's the point in these folders collecting dust in my cupboards? It's pointless. So I'm going to show you guys the biggest that my collection has ever been, not just so that you guys can see it, but also so that I have a memory of what I've once had. You know, and who knows, it could end up getting back to that, and I might end up getting back into the card games to the point where I'd want to get them to be that big again. But at this point in time, it doesn't look particularly likely, because I think that, you know, I value being kind of the social aspect of the game, or being part of the social aspect of these games. I want to go out on a night out with these guys after the tournament's finished. I couldn't care less who won it. I really couldn't. You know, I don't care if, like, you've got a playset, a super bottomless trap hole. I don't care if you're sitting on a deck that's worth £500. If you're a dick, then I don't want to spend time with you. End of story. And I think that is something that a lot of people just don't seem to realise anymore. Internet culture, I think, has destroyed a lot of that. But yeah, that's a story for another time, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased that the growth of this channel has continued even while I've not been here. And getting 100 subs over the course of the last couple of months, even though I haven't really been putting anything up, has been quite humbling, because it's like, oh, people actually do want to see what I'm doing. So it's really nice, and I really hope you guys continue to do that, because this is definitely something that I feel quite passionately about and I want to continue with. And I hope that you understand why I've not been here now that I've explained myself. But yeah, if you like this video and you haven't subscribed already, then feel free to click on those respective buttons and kind of keep up with what I'm doing. I'm going to be putting these videos up about the collections that I've had over the next few weeks. It'll probably take that long. And I'm going to do another painting tomorrow. It'll probably be Gaga Cowboy, although I have been taking into account what people have asked for. I want to do a Red Eyes Black Dragon and some of the classic cards and some of the cards that meant something to me. Because while I've not been particularly attached to the TV shows or anything, there are still cards that mean something to me. And somebody very kindly suggested that, and I think it's a great idea. So, keep in tune if you want to sort of see what happens with that. And I think that's it, and that's all I'm going to say for this one. So, thank you very much for watching if you have from all the way through this long video, which I have. It's probably the longest video ever made, actually. But, yeah, keep on trucking, and like I have, because we all have to kind of get through these kind of rougher times easy. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. Bye now.